my video series, Changing the Way We Look at Stuttering. I'm Barbara Dam, a board-certified specialist in fluency, and I've been working with people who stutter for many, many years. This series is about you, the clinician, and how you can help your clients to really get what they want, the ability to communicate effectively and enjoy it too. In the first video of this series, we discussed the goal of therapy. In this video, I want to talk about the system that goes into speaking. Now, it isn't just saying the words as some people often think who come to us. The system, as we know, includes so much. If you have read John Harrison's work, Redefining Stuttering, you know about his hexagon, where he says that there are 6 different points of stuttering that really have to be considered. One being the physiological responses, the emotions that go that are involved when the person's speaking, the beliefs of the person, and what was one of the intentions, of course, the intentions, and the behaviors that the person has gotten used to doing, and also the perceptions. So this is what John has in his hexagon. The way I look at it is very similar. And what I believe is that we have the intentions, the attention, where the person's attention is. We do have the neurophysiological processes of speaking, the beliefs, the attitudes, the feelings. All of this go into the way we produce speech. Let's compare it to driving. If you drive a car, it might seem like you just get in the car and drive, and it's as simple as knowing how to drive. But it isn't as simple as that, because when we drive, we have a mood, and maybe that mood makes us go faster or slower, or be more careful of the road signs or whatever. So our mood has something to do with our driving. We also have our belief systems about what our place is as a driver. Do we have etiquette on the roadway, or do we just push ourselves through? Do we let people get ahead of us? Do we use our signal? So many things. Then, of course, we do have the mechanics of the car. If the mechanics of the car aren't working well, that would be a problem. But even if the mechanics are fine, but we don't know how to use them, maybe the car starts in a different way, and we don't know how to do it, so we'll have difficulty starting it. Or if we're not used to a shift car and it's a shift and we go into the wrong gear. All of these things have a lot to do with how we're going to get from place A to place B. And speaking is about, in a way, getting from place A to place B, the place where I know my thoughts and want to get them across to you. So this is what speaking has in common with driving. And there are so many different facets. We're going to discuss all of them. But today, I want to discuss the mechanics of speaking and what goes on in the neurophysiological processes when a person is speaking. First of all, we have to understand that there are 6 principles for speaking that everybody has who is speaking with normal fluency. And the first thing is that all of the attention is on the ideas, the thoughts that the person wants to get out. The second thing is that our brain takes these thoughts and transforms them into our language. There's a process of encoding where we do phonological encoding and grammatical encoding. Also, the processing of our speech is developed in our brain. So this is a really important part of speaking and has to be taken into consideration when we're thinking about how to treat people who stutter. We said part of the encoding is phonological, and that means that there's a series of phonemes. When we're speaking, our brain comes up with a series of phonemes that are part of our language. Now, these phonemes come up automatically. The normally fluent speaker doesn't think about which sounds are in the words that they're saying or even which words they're saying. They just have the idea and the language comes up automatically. This happens at the very same time that the mechanics of speech, the motor program of speech is going on. And the motor program of speech is that we have to produce a voice and our articulators have to be flowing. Now, how does this work? One of the principles is that we have to produce a voice as the foundation of our speech. And that means that our voice is there, we create our voice, and then our mouth shapes the voice. Not that we try to get out words and then push our voice out in order to try to get them out. So the essence of the motor program for speaking is that we have to have a voice. And the voice makes a very easy vocal buzz, as they call it, and that is what we have to be able to be doing. So then the other principle is that the mouth moves automatically and the articulators just flow. These are very important issues. And the last of the 6 issues is that all of these things happen simultaneously. So let's go over the 6 principles. Number 1 is that the attention is on the thinking about the content, not the language that's going to express the content. Second is that the brain automatically transforms our ideas into language. The language consists of, among other things, a progression of phonemes. Third, these progression of phonemes are not decided upon before the speaker says them. There's no gap in time. 4 is we need to produce a voice that is the base for speaking. And it has to be produced in a way that allows for the continuation of normal intonation. The 5th is that the articulators have to be able to move automatically. And the 6th is that all of these processes happen simultaneously. Now, maybe some of you have read the book Speaking from Intention to Articulation by Willem Leveld. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, probably not. He's a Dutch writer, and he wrote this book and other books as well, but this really explains this model for speaking. I am going to be talking to you about this model and about all of the other aspects of speaking as we go through the series. Tomorrow in the series, well, if you see it tomorrow, I don't know when you'll see it, but whenever you see it, um, we will be looking at how people who stutter interfere with the normal processes of speaking. And um, I hope that you will click on my YouTube channel on the subscribe button, and you can also give it a like. So, but if you subscribe and ask for notifications, you won't miss the next video in this series. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.